Well, that nearly got us killed. Do you want to survive longer than a few hours en road to Vostok? Do you want to do an apartments run confident that you're going to make it back? Do you want all the juicy loot waiting for you in those special crates? Then you need to listen to Cheby's 7 pillars of survival. First pillar is be combat ready. Check that your weapons are fully loaded, well above 50%, and ready for a long fight. You don't want to start a run completely unprepared. Make sure your magazines are fully bombed up, ready for a fight. Then make sure that they're stacked in your inventory where you can easily reload them without having to think about it. I always check that I have 31 rounds in the weapon because that one extra round might save your life. Check all of your player stats to make sure they're as close to 100 as they can be, and make sure you bring enough food for the trip planning. All of those checks need to be done before you leave your shelter or immediately after. That leads into the second pillar, be engagement ready. That means while you're on the move, you are always facing the enemy most likely direction, and that you've got the correct weapon for the situation that you're in, as well as having the correct setting for the optic that you're using. You don't want to be caught off guard close range, and the optic that you've got set is set for long distance. If you use the hammer like I do, just press Alt to switch between short distance and long distance. If you have the Leo, it's as simple as rolling the mouse wheel forwards and backwards while you're zoomed in. If you're using a weapon that has a rail, you can adjust the eye relief for the optic that you've chosen by pressing the X button, then holding Control and rolling the mouse wheel backwards and forwards. You can set the distance between the optic and your eye. The third pillar is the correct use of hard cover. What that looks like is while moving from point to point, you are keeping some kind of hard cover between yourself and a possible threat. The direction that you choose to move in determines whether you survive a fight or not. If you choose to move directly to a threat without checking your flanks, you're exposing yourself to a threat that you might not even know was there. Instead, pick a route that clears either the left or the right first, and then move towards where you know the threat is. Using the hard cover you have to fight is the number one way you're going to survive in this game. Keeping your body as far behind cover while you fight ensures you don't take any unnecessary rounds, and it's going to keep you alive much longer. If you stay fully exposed in a firefight, you're going to take rounds and it's going to cost you the game. Fighting behind cover means leaning out from the cover you're in into the direction you're going to fight, and only exposing yourself to the amount that you need. That way, if something does go wrong and you get hit, you can lean back in straight away. You need to create the correct distance between yourself and the hard cover, otherwise your weapon's going to be lowered when you're behind cover, and it's going to take too long to draw it when you come out. Leave enough distance between yourself and the cover so that when you pop back in, the weapon doesn't go down. The fourth pillar of survival is not rushing into the unknown. Here's a perfect example of what happens when you simply rush in without thinking. A quick check only takes a second, but it's going to save you your days of progress. The fifth pillar of survival is recheck your engagement ready constantly. Recheck, recheck, recheck. The last thing you want to discover right at the beginning of a firefight is that your mag's empty or your weapon's below 50% and is probably going to jam. The sixth pillar of survival is do not loot immediately. Look around, wait. Don't expose yourself to unnecessary risk. Look around you to make sure you're not about to get a backdoor inspection from another bandit while you're elbow deep in the one you just put down. The seventh pillar of survival is having a plan. Why am I going here? What am I going to do when I get what I want? Having the exit strategy is what keeps me alive the longest in this game. If you listen to that loot goblin inside you too much, and you don't leave after you get what you want, you're going to end up finding yourself back at the start of the game. This game isn't about who can shoot the best. It's about who can follow the rules of survival the longest. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I hope these tips help you guys survive as long as I have in this game and have as much fun as I do.